So hello everyone, welcome to my review part of Yowamushi Pedal, episode 14. A very, very good episode. One of my favorites so far. Really good episode. A very traffic episode, so I watched it once more and kind of try to break down the episode a little bit. And it's hard to explain, but this episode just feels like it's a loose episode, right? Because we were watching one guy, the Teshima, it started with Teshima's standpoint. Teshima and Aogi are kind of this loose, right? They never really managed to win. And we see Teshima's backstory. No one is believing in him. He's like, yeah, Teshima, do your best. They're like, Gamba, Teshima, like, yeah, whatever. Like, they don't believe in him. They're like, yeah, you guys, can do 1,000 laps. And he's like, yeah, you do what you can. And we see Aogi trying to help him to win, and he doesn't win, and with 11 spots and so on. And so that also, first and foremost, it solidifies the relationship, because Aogi is the one that never stopped believing in Teshima, right? So it's in the last part when he's like, come on guys, don't give up on me yet. When it's in Naruto and Onoda and so on, they're like, he probably can't win. But it's like, stop believing in me. Then we see Aogi like, you can do it, Junta, right? So he still believes in him. So that's why one of their biggest, super yaoi, he's like, that's my guy that never stopped believing in me. So that's a big part of it, right? So that's built up, and that makes it so hard, because as I said last week, as earlier and so on, like, you wanna see Teshima and you wanna see Aogi win, because I was very taken by first season when they didn't actually get to be in the team, right? And they lose and they couldn't beat Onoda and so on, and I was very sad, that whole thing. So now we see this thing, so you wanna see Teshima win and so on, right? He's an underdog, you wanna see him win. But then we have Koga-senpai, which is also an underdog. He's the guy that got injured 2 years ago. He's the guy that's being the mechanic guy that hasn't been allowed, that couldn't like walk after his injury and so on. So on his side, so in general, the whole episode it's a good episode, but it feels really sad, because it's like you're watching two guys that never really got the chance to like do the best. Koga was injured the first year, right? And then his captain got injured during it, so he never got to do his best. And then the other guy that never got to be part of it. They're both like these guys. You really want to see them both win, right? It's a really tricky. So regardless of who won in the end, you feel like you lost something, right? Because you wanted them both to win. So it's a very sad episode in that sense. And then furthermore, the whole relationship is kind of weird, because we have like Teshima blaming himself, I would say, for somewhat of the injury of Koga. And he's like, Koga was always so stoic about it, never always taking on by himself. But he's like, it also was my fault, I was a support. And he was like, yeah, so we have that, we have them fighting and so on. So that was really good as well, because the episode went into not only that, okay, this is the flashback of Koga. In Europe also got into, they actually knew each other, obviously knew each other, but they actually had, internal fights and so on, even 2 years ago. So the episode really brought that forward, right? It really kind of showed us, okay, this is happening, and that's why they, don't hate each other, but that's some kind of beef, right? So on. So that was also very good. So it's generally a great episode, right? In that sense, but so that's kind of the Teshima and / the yoga part. But then we have the Koga side, with his injury, which is really gruesome. And I talked about it in my reaction, that felt really hard to me, because you see him being like, well, I'm injured, but I can still win. We have to win even without Kinyo-senpai. We can still try, right? And you see him being like, his knee is already injured, and he's pushing himself, and you see these flashes of like his leg being more and more broken. And I'm sitting there thinking like, shit, that is easily gonna be like a lifetime issue. He's gonna take an injury that might heal in like, say, 3-4 months, and push it and be something like, oh, you will have problem walking for the rest of your life, right? That is gonna be that kind of typical, really crazy sportsman thing. You're gonna have to win. Then I can definitely relate to this a lot, and it's like, wow, I've been there. I've broken my arm and still kept fighting. So yeah, that kind of guy. And that is just like, oh my god, that looks so sad, and they kind of pushed it further there. They were expected. So it ends with him actually crashing off the road, right? And you fly off. And you even see him lying on the ground, like, yes, just kind of like dead, right? And but next to him, it's like, looks like he died pretty much. It pushed it really far there. I actually didn't think they would do that, because it kind of felt like if he was kept by. So actually, in one way, I guess you could say they kind of maybe they did that, like the author did that on purpose, because if you kept bicycling with that injury, on that level, on that forcing himself, that actually probably might be worse than actually just flying off and like breaking his shoulder as well, because doing, keep putting pressure on the knee there, that is probably gonna, break your knee. You can never walk in your life, right? So that was kind of like expecting him to be kind of like just keep actually doing the race, but eventually be, oh, my legs is working anymore. Like, yeah, eventually be like, oh, I can't move my knee anymore, so I'm injured. I have to stop, right? Yeah, that was something I expected happened, but I said he crashed off very brutally, like probably absolutely the most brutal crash we have seen so far in that, or like Kinyu Sama and Fuku pushes him off, classic guy pull off, yeah. But yeah, probably the most brutal thing we've ever seen. He kind of spins around and he's like inlays, like almost half dead afterward. So yeah, that felt like that was very. I don't know, took it to force, because if I think about it, that maybe actually was a blessing in disguise for him. It would probably feel more worse if you saw him just keep doing that in your own knee for like an hour, and it's like, okay, you can ever walk again. Yeah. So anyways, we have his flashback, we have his backstory. He's always been the kind of guy. And we see some other parts, like another effect into that, like. Oh, I remember last time we was entering Inter High, and Koga was like, I can't be there, but I believe in you guys, yeah. And we see him being like, trying to be his best, to like pretending that he, doesn't want to go there, being like, oh yeah, you guys, like it doesn't really matter so much if we win or lose. They try to be that guy, but it's actually a lot of pain and so on. I think it was a hard some episode for me. It felt very sad, mostly. Yeah, like it's as I mentioned in the beginning, it's like a lose episode, because no matter who you're it feels like, I think that most people agree with that no matter who you're actually rooting for, you can't hate the other guy, right? So either you are rooting for A, but you don't dislike B, I don't think so, or vice versa. So I think it's like, no matter who won here, no matter who you leave a comment, leave a comment and comment if you agree with it or not. But I think that no matter who you actually were rooting for, I was rooting for Koga in one way, but I want Teshima Steve. Yeah, like I couldn't even say that. Oh, but yeah, mostly I still follow my original hope then that Koga will beat out Isla though. So we can still go for that. But see what I mean? Right? That was very, very good written there, very good writing character storyline, because you really feel like I don't care who wins, because I want both to win. At the same time, I care who loses, because I want them to lose. Yes, very, very interesting, very good written. Really good, as always, it's a very good anime. So yeah, quite an emotional anime, I think, in that part. But then I think there also might be some hope for that, because in the end, it's more like Koga's realizing that he lost because he didn't believe in Teshima, and it's like, yeah, you are the perfect captain, you can be the captain, I believe in you now. And it still feels like Koga might still be, the dark horse pushing out Isa. I hope so for this, because he's still like a physically stronger than Isa, right? He's in better shape as well. Unless his knee actually still there. It feels like he ended kinda, maybe his knee is there, might be some phantom pain, maybe he actually has still knee injury. Maybe his knee is injured for life, right? Call arrow for his knee for the rest of his life, perhaps. There's a big possibility for it. So it's kind of like that, but it feels like it could actually kind of change up and say, well, I'm just gonna be the fastest in this 1,000 laps. You have to let me be part of your team. But I believe in Teshima as a captain. That could be a thing. I hope that's gonna be a thing. I think that also will give it more drama. If it's like, okay, so I couldn't be Teshima, so that's a great guy. He's a great captain. However, I'm still gonna beat one of you guys. I'm still gonna beat Onoda or Ista, whatever. I'm still gonna make you guys have the force. So even that Ista would beat Koga in the end of this 1,000 lap thing, we still have a few more episodes there where we can kind of spend this drive, because everyone has to beat each other, right? They have to be like, I can't be last of these like 7 or 8 top players, right? So that could be an interesting part as well, because it was this episode and that episode only on Teshima and Koga, right? And everyone else is like, yeah, I was doing my 1,000 lap thing, that could be good. So we see drama against everyone and tension with everyone. Because we did see Isa in that episode when he was like, in the beginning, Koga arrived, he was like, I can never do this and so on, right? So, he might actually drop out, he might actually problem with it. That could be a thing. I can see it happening, I hope it's happening. Maybe we should thinking, but I still think it could be something like that. And it felt to me, at least in the ending, that Koga like grew as a character, like he was, he matured a bit there, but he still is probably going to be a threat because of that. Like he was like, yeah, okay, I see it now. I shouldn't try to be Teshima, he's a great captain, but I still want to be in Inter High. So I hope that's going to be a thing. So it's unclear. But I think next episode was constantly Koga's will or Koga's determination. Something like that is the next episode's name. I'm just kind of Japanese translating myself here. Just read like the very quickly there. Something like that should be the name of it, and that should be like okay, that could be something or it's gonna motivate the rest of the Teshima. But I think so. I think it's gonna be something like he's still wanna be in the team probably, just not be captain. Which makes sense too, because Koga never showed any leadership skill. He's like, I'm the greatest, the simpleton, great stamina. He's never showed any, oh yeah, I'm this good at strategy or this good at motivating the guys. He's just like, he's a good guy riding in the bike, right? He fits more as like the supportive ace something. Just being there and just using a lot of power. That being said though, I did felt that Koga was this stupid in the whole episode. So first and foremost, it's kind of clear that Koga was gonna lose. Because Teshima is getting the main character kind of view, right? The main character plot armor for the last episodes so far. Kind of the reverse of last year when he lost because he fought the main character. No, he is the main character. Una is a side character. Una has no story right now. And neither do Naruto and Izumi-kun. None of them have like main story right now. Naruto suggests that it should be a sprint or not. To miss Yoshi. That is still on debate, but we never see that so that's kind of weird. But anyway, yeah. So Teshima is all the focus, and it's a little right. So it's kind of like obviously Koga wasn't gonna beat him. It was very obvious Koga had no chance. But I do find it that after that now it's kind of resolved again. Then that's kind of resolved. That kind of predictability that Koga couldn't beat Teshima is outright. That means that he could beat someone else again. And so emphasis on that. To me at least it feels like okay, that kind of is that Teshima had a huge plot around him. And I think that also was a little cheat. The only issue I had that was how they kind of did the whole like okay, we're gonna finish on this race, because that made no sense for Koga, right? If I was Koga's shoes, I'd be like, I have much higher stamina than you, I can do this longer, I'm faster than you with average, and yada yada. Why would I agree and say, okay, I'm gonna beat you in this lap, this whatever, lap 89, 90 lap? Not even halfway through the laps, I have 2 laps to do. So not even like 40%, 80, like whatever, yeah. 40% like 45, I guess, better, yeah, like 45%. Of the actual distance, and he's like, okay, let's do it now. That made no sense. And Koga feels like an intelligent character, not a genius. He's a genius at bicycling, but like a generally smart guy, and it feels like he should go for that, right? Yes, Teshima is supposed to be the strategy and a trickster, like an intelligent, cunning guy that can trick people into doing stupid things, but it feels like that's kind of obviously. So that felt a little too forced, if it passed me. Like a too forced plot armor of Teshima. Oh, I can convince him to do this lab now with me instead of in 2 days from now. That felt kind of like weird. Felt like Koga should have never agreed to that under any circumstances, right? And so that felt very much like plot armor deluxe there for Teshima. Like, okay, I'm gonna get him to do this with me now, day 2, instead of day 4, but he is much better than me. That felt a little. It's kind of like that's how he managed to beat him by. Going out. Obviously, also underestimated Teshima. He didn't dance, so that was fine. So that went to Koga growing as a character. However, though, I want to go back and iterate to what I said previously here. Because they did this, because they made Koga lose to Teshima at lap 2, right? In my opinion, that means there's a higher chance for Koga putting out Isa or Ayogasti. Probably Isa, though. Hopefully Isa. Yeah, but also probably. Because that means they have at least 2 more days, right? Which is maybe like 1 episode left, right? Probably 2 episodes or so more. Which also means that, okay, Koga can still be a competitor. So I haven't said it twice now, but I think that this also is pointing out, for me at least, that Koga is not out of the headline. Koga is still going to be an issue for someone else. Because if Koga was doing Teshima Koga duel for 4 episodes, or 4 days, and it ended on like lap 190 or something, then it would also be more extreme if Teshima actually did win, I guess. The plot would be kind of weird in that sense. But now when he kind of forced them to do this, okay, I'm doing this now, this means that, okay, this means that maybe Koga actually will beat Isa or something. As I think about it, the more I think about it, the more it makes sense to me. At least it makes sense to me as a drama standpoint. Not necessarily he actually will beat Isa, but it's gonna be like, okay, so we have 2 days left for me to be a kind of trigger for more, internal battle in Soko, right? That to me at least feels like that. So I'll turn off the sound, sorry. So yeah, that me feel that at least. You got to mention about the anime, yeah. But that I think is very interesting. And it really felt it's a very good episode, right? Raw, easily a episode for me, like a sad episode. I said earlier again, it's all about how you see it. They are both losers, about underdogs in a way, right? And you want to see them win. And that I think again, then I say it's like 10 parts per episode, but per review. But again, it's like, okay, why do you want to see Isa lose? Well, Isa is damn, spoiled child that has no motivations, that is being the best. He has no tragic backstory, whatever, right? So you can see anyone taking his spot, right? You can see anyone. You can see Koga, Aogi, Teshima, even Sugimoto, whatever. You can see anyone beating Isa, and you will be happy about it. So I think further again, we now see Koga's backstory, we see Aogi's backstory, we see Teshima's backstory, and we all like them more as a character. We saw Isa's backstory last week. It was like, I hate the character. He's a fucking douchebag. Like he's not a badly written character, overly not bad, because he's written to hate him, right? I heard as my last review though, he's obviously a little weird, like his personality all over the place. That doesn't make no sense. So yeah, I think that's one of my endpoints I want to say again here, that made the Koga and Teshima fight end at lap 2 probably means that Koga at least gonna challenge Isa or someone else, but probably Isa in the next coming episode or 2 or something. Maybe, I hope I'm right. At least I hope that Isa has to, because even if Isa wins, so I should say this at that point there, even if Isa wins, that to me means that he has to grow as a character. He has to be like, okay, I have to do this, I have to show my determination, I have to do this, I have to, that's gonna at least probably make me like him more. If he just gets like Isa or Koga just drops out, purposely next episode, and he just gets a free pass, right? Just free pass into it, that's gonna disappoint me, because I'm like, he doesn't deserve it, he's a fucking douchebag character, right? I want to see him at least struggle a little bit, right? So that I think hopefully, I think it's gonna happen that Koga, even if Koga loses, I think it's gonna be a battle there, right? And then we will see, okay, so that means this, right? So I think that's gonna be good. So anyway, see you guys next week. Sure to subscribe, put the like button up. Overall, very good episode, but very sad episode though. So yeah, have a great day.